Pros have been debating who would win a fight between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, and Terence has sent Floyd a brutal warning after he called him out. Vidal Riley analyzed each fighter's skills, and according to his numbers, he thinks Floyd would definitely win. Riley stated, Bud Crawford has an overall of 88, and Floyd Mayweather has an overall of 93, making prime Floyd Mayweather the winner today. On the other hand, Tim Bradley definitely believes that Terence would beat Floyd in the ring, and he stated, Terence Crawford would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Crawford, a master thinker just like Floyd, has the advantage that he not only can fight orthodox, but is versatile and can fight in the southpaw stance. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? A guy that's powerful, quick, and strong like Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. I just think that Crawford would have enough to beat Floyd. He would have enough to gain respect and hurt Floyd too. Crawford, when he touches you, you're gonna feel it. Timing has a way of beating speed. Crawford has timing. So Floyd would have all the speed in the world, quickness, but the timing of Crawford is what's different. Calvin Ford is definitely excited about the possibility of the two superstars fighting each other, but he's not sure if it'll actually happen.
Question is Floyd gonna come out of retirement
and fight
Crawford? I remember a statement he said if Terence beat Spence, he'll come out of retirement. So
wow. Okay, that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Floyd, okay, break it down, Calvin. Floyd against Crawford.
That's a good one, you know what I'm saying? Because you got the old GOAT great, you know what I'm saying, against the new GOAT great.
TBE versus the Pound for Pound King.
Yeah, so that's a good one, you know. That one, the pay-per-views would be stupid.
Shakur Stevenson definitely thinks that the outcome would all depend on what version of Floyd we ended up seeing in the ring, and he stated, I think that's interesting. It depends on what Floyd is in the ring. There are different versions of Floyd. Bud now versus the version of Mayweather that fought Canelo? Man, that's a hell of a fight. It's hard to say though, because Bud is a southpaw. He can punch with both hands. It would only take one mistake from Floyd, but Floyd is the king of not making mistakes. So it's hard to say. I don't feel like I could sit down here and tell you a real answer. Billy Nelson really believes that Terence is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather is.
Witnessed a legend, a one-off, supreme boxer, absolute masterclass performance. I mean, to produce that performance against such a high-quality opponent, fantastic, just absolutely fantastic. You don't need to be throwing tables at people and shouting maximum violence and, you know, attack guys at weigh-ins. He conducted himself, as did Spence, consummate professionals, and he had a professional manner about him. I think he's better than Mayweather anyway.
You think
he's certainly more likable than Mayweather. You think he's about throwing hundreds of dollars, eh?
I was going to say, if Bud fought Mayweather at welterweight,
Crawford would beat him. My opinion.
Jim Lampley tried to break the hypothetical fight down, and he believed that there are a lot of aspects that need to be considered. Jim stated, Floyd Mayweather never disabused himself, or the understanding that he was more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher, regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales. And that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. A Floyd Mayweather beatdown or one-sided win was much more of a paint job than what Crawford put together. Floyd Mayweather is an all-time great. Terence Crawford, I think, will turn out to be an all-time great. So it's very hard to pick, and I think it would depend on what moment in Mayweather's career and what moment in Crawford's career are we talking about that taking place. So I wouldn't want to pick that fight until I saw at what moment in their careers such a thing would take place. It's always dangerous to pick utterly hypothetical fights that are never going to take place except somewhere in your mind. Brian McIntyre doesn't think there's any question who would win though, as he believes Terence would beat Floyd in his prime anyways. Brian stated, "There are two things. For one, Crawford is like my son, so I'm going to always go with him. Terence has that dog in him. Terence didn't get to where he is now overnight. It's taken years and years. But if you put Bud in there in his prime with Mayweather in his prime, then of course Mayweather is going to be the smarter one. But I think Bud will have more dog in him." Carl Frampton knew that he was making a controversial statement when he said that Terence would beat Floyd, and he stated, "There's a big statement that I want to make here. The fighter of our generation, everyone will probably agree, is Floyd Mayweather. I think that Terence Crawford is now the fighter of our generation. That performance beats Floyd Mayweather at his best at welterweight. I genuinely believe that." While Terence claims to be the greatest boxer out there, he has no interest in achieving Floyd's insane undefeated record.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, beat Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I wasn't never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
Shane Mosley believes that Terence would win against Money Mayweather, but he doesn't think he has the same chance against Pretty Boy Floyd. Shane stated, "Crawford hits hard. Crawford is very strong. He has long arms, southpaw, right-handed, and he's coming to get you. I could see Mayweather outboxing him, but I can also see Crawford catching him with one of those funny uppercuts. Money Mayweather, I think Crawford beats. Pretty Boy, I think it might be Pretty Boy because he's more aggressive." Amir Khan thought that Terence would come out on top, and he really hoped to see the fight sometime in the future. Amir stated, "When I used to see Crawford spar, I thought, wow, this guy was special. What a fight that would have been. I would have Crawford beating Mayweather. His IQ is just something else. When I fought him, he was making me miss by an inch. I'd be getting frustrated, then he'd be hitting me with a shot that would get me angry, and I'd be making mistakes. Say what you want, he's one of the best at 147, and it's amazing I shared the ring with one of the best fighters in the 147 pounds division." Jeff Roberts really believes that Terence could easily beat Floyd's 50-0 record, and he stated, "Crawford is 35 years old and he has 40 wins and no defeats. He can break or equal Floyd's 50-0 if he's guided in the right direction and is smart. In my opinion, Terence Crawford is the undisputed champion of the world, and he will go on to beat many more great fighters. Terence Bud Crawford is skillful, he can box, he can punch, and most of all, he's versatile. He's a complete fighter who will always beat Spence because he can adjust. Spence seems lost once Crawford was able to neutralize his power, as he did not have a plan B, so couldn't adjust." Jeff Mayweather talked about the potential fight, and even though he went with Floyd, he still saw the skills in Terence.
I think that in their prime, I mean, it'd be a great fight. I mean, both guys are pretty much masters at what they do. And, you know, I mean, of course, I mean, I'm gonna go with Floyd. You know, I mean, I think that Floyd IQ and Floyd's defense was immaculate, you know, and it depends on what weight class you're talking about them fighting at. I think that if they're talking about 35, you know, I mean, I think the fight would even be greater for both of them, because that's probably they're both at their best. I mean, Floyd's probably best at 30, but I mean, at 135, I mean, he still had his, you know, he still was actually fighting with his power more than with his brain, because as he went to, the higher Floyd went in weight, the more he started to fight, the smarter he started to fight. And basically, I think it'd be a great fight, of course.
Meanwhile, Terence has enough faith in himself to beat Floyd, and he thinks that's enough for him to come away with the win.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm going to always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Terence actually believes that he would beat any of the great fighters that have been in the ring before, and he stated, "If you put me in the ring with any of the great fighters from around my weight class, past, present, or future, I'll hold my own with them. That's just how I feel. I just feel like our styles have evolved from the older fighters. They paved the way for us, and the things that they adored and were doing in the ring, we mimicked them, but we take it to the next level. But I think I hold my own with any of those guys." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.